Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Mina every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. Thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do hit the like button, share with your friends, and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. Today we have Mayur Kalbag back with us. Welcome, Mayur.
Har Har Mahadev,
Har Har
and
Mahadev.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
So a
It's a Monday
little
now.
bit,
Yeah.
yeah. For those who have not read his book, a little bit about his book, and then he will, do the what you call the piece. What do you call that, Mayur? The piece pot,
The
musical
what?
pot, the musical pot.
Yes, actually, I have another thing, but I've kept it. This
Okay.
time I'm
So
doing
let me
something
just
else.
introduce the book, and then we can go on to that. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
So, friends, if you're intrigued by spiritual mystics, and especially have been keen to know more about a special group of ascetic sadhus, then Mayur's book will surely take you into a different zone, and yet a stunning, vibrant world of special sect of sadhus known as the Aghori or the Aghora in Sanskrit. Through the eyes of the protagonist, you will see the most stunning, mysterious, and visually vibrant aspects and activities, along with certain unique rituals they perform at the most unusual of places. Aghori, an untold story, is not just a story, but an illuminating journey about the attitudes and attributes of one of the most enchanting, mysterious sects of sadhus. So, for those who have not bought the book, please do it. It's available on Amazon and it's a great read. It will certainly change certain aspects in your life. So I'm sure you'll call write to us when you know that when you read it. Of course, you'll get back to Mayur with your view.
Great. This is the book,
Yeah,
Meena. This is
yeah.
the one.
Is the
Um, just trying to
It's a
show
lovely
the
cover,
cover of the book.
beautiful cover
Yeah,
with a very intense looking Aghori.
yeah. Affectionately intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, Meena, you know what? I normally play or do the vibration. I thought this time let me do a different kind of vibration so that
Absolutely.
it changes the whole texture of or the perspective to vibrations.
Yeah.
They say that when Shiva used to get into his ecstasy mode, he used to do Tandava, and then
Yeah.
the Dambru used to be played. So I
Okay.
don't have a Dambru, but I have a djembe. So I want to
Okay.
start this session by playing a little bit of a djembe.
Mm,
Let's see how it comes. Okay.
mm.
This is my way of just uh, uh, just
Beautiful.
sort of
A
just sort
beautiful
of
rhythm.
yeah, drums have such solid any kind
Vibrance.
of
Yeah.
percussion has such kind of vibrations. If you come towards the I don't know if it happens in Bangalore side and all, but in Maharashtra during Ganpati time they play
Mm,
something called the Nasik Dhol,
mm.
and if you want to listen to it, you can bet your money on it. The person who will say he's never going to dance will start grooving a little bit on the Nasik Dhol.
See,
And
whenever we do these productions, these ballet productions in, based on the Indian epics, what I do is because I spent a lot of my life in Middle East in Dubai,
yeah,
so I like the sound of the darbuka. You know,
yeah,
so
this is
I
exactly
always,
that. I know. No,
so I always include the darbuka in some of the Indian music that we
that
do.
is how it is. But today's session is something which is to do with this.
Yeah,
It's to do with this, isn't it? Can you
yeah,
see it?
yes,
Of course, this is just a small little symbol of what I think, Meena, we're going to talk, isn't it?
yeah,
And
yeah.
so before we get into it, also, I want to say a very, firstly, a sincere thank you, Meena, for remembering me and getting me on board.
Every Monday,
And
I remember you, and not only me,
so,
all my viewers, they know you're
so
here.
thank you. In fact, I just was reading Karthik's message saying that Monday looks like it's Mayur Kalbag. See, he's written that. So for me, I feel like part of a family now. And the best part is, to all the viewers, I say this: there's no pressure. There's nothing. It's just a very open forum where, whatever little that I have understood, Meena, you believe I can share, which is why you
Yeah,
get me on.
absolutely.
But but what is lovely is that the comments that come in, the points that come in, they educate me uh, a lot more than probably what I give to all of them. So I actually want to thank all of you from my heart. So many lovely perspectives come, and they're very pregnant with a lot of depth. So
Yeah.
even after the session is over, you keep thinking, and that's the beautiful part of having a collection of thoughts coming together. So yeah, so today is the day of you can start off, Meena, now, and I
Yeah.
can answer them.
So we were going to talk about the power of homas. So Mayur, see, I have seen a lot of this because you see in Kerala it's very important. See, for everything, anything that's auspicious, big homas are done by our father's family or mother's family because that is the start to something good. you know
Yeah.
and exploring the possibilities of what are the positive attributes of this huge puja that they do. I'm sure it'll be very interesting for people because there is a conscious movement of people back into Sanatana Dharma. There's a resurgence, with the youngsters coming back to the
Right.
fold, with a sort of a conviction which was not
Yeah.
there before.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
people like you, Mayur, are helping in that path and trying to also clarify a lot of doubts through your not only your books but also your powerful talks. So
Thank you.
yeah, back to you. Yeah.
Okay. So I'd like to start by saying that what came to my mind when I was thinking about a topic for today was the Havana or the Homa or the Yajna
Yes.
Kunda, and it brought certain images. I mean, I don't know if you remember. Sometimes we would see the images, the caricatures, or images in storybooks of Rishi Munis sitting around a big Havana Kunda. As a kid, I would remember seeing that. Um, in Mahabharata, these rishis would do the Havana. Okay, and as I grew older, I also became part of those people who would they would go to these purohits, or the purohits would say that there has to be a gana home that has to be done.
Yeah.
All right, is one of the examples of a homa. Um, I would like to start off with a word called Agnihotra,
Yeah.
if you heard of it. Agnihotra, I have performed. I remember there was this uncle who I met at the Mutt, and
Yeah.
he's a Konkani like me, and he suggested to me once that why don't I perform Agnihotra Havana, okay, or Yajna. So I was like, really? I mean, how can I do that? So he said, this is something you can do even at home, but it is not just to sit and light a fire. There is a science to it. That is what opened the doors, Meena, and to the viewers, doors to the more deeper understanding, in fact a scientific understanding of what this Havana is. If I can just play with this word, which but with sincerity, is Havana can take you to heavena.
Yeah.
you know and when I say heavena, not literally, there's
Yeah.
nothing literal. Heavena is a state of this mind which is very peaceful and at a state of bliss.
Yeah.
So he said to me, why don't you try? And Agnihotra, I started doing, and that's when I understood that to perform a Homa, even as concisely elaborate as Agnihotra, you need a kunda.
Yeah.
Okay, and this kunda starts with this. The kunda is also in a geometric way. There are angles to it. It's not just a pit where you put something. It's not that. It's not like you're doing a barbecue or you're doing something
Yeah.
like you're just lighting a fire and putting stuff. No, no. There is a kunda. It typically made out of copper, or it is also large, rectangular thing that is done. But what I was told was he gave me the samagri, the ingredients, okay, the stuff. In that, one of the things that he gave me, Meena, was cow dung, dry cow dung flakes, big flakes. Okay, and of course we'll go deeper into all this, but just to kickstart this particular talk or this interaction, he also said to me that, see, Mayur, he gave me a chart. He gave me a chart which was for the month. for the whole year, but for every month, every day, scientifically found out, it was found out the exact time of sunrise. And that exact time was the time that the Agni had to be lit.
Yeah.
Because he said that that is that combination of the right time of sunrise
Yeah.
with the mix of cow dung ghee, that to purify ghee, and there had to be some ucharan also done.
Yeah.
And that was a new world for me. See, I've seen people do, right? When you go to a temple, like today itself, there was Chandika home at our Durga Parameshwari temple at Karla. It was beautiful. And when you see from outside, you just see it as Havan. You know, Meena, when that happens, many people are walking around, some people are sitting, then, oh, the eyes are watering, so we walk away. But in Agnihotra, you have to perform. And what comes out of that when the the agni gets ignited, and after that, after some time, it also dissipates the flames, then
Yeah.
the jo dhua nikalta hai, that has certain significance. I'll just leave it at that, then we can go further on, if
Yeah.
you want to add.
So yeah. So what I wanted to say, Mayur, see, my mother had been with her cousin to it was known as Koilon previously, but it's now
Mm,
known as Kollam in Kerala.
okay, okay.
And the reason was they wanted to change the family deity, which is the Nagadeva. you know so they were going to do a huge homa around that, because putting another deva there, it means you have to do it in a very, very cautious way. So they brought a new deity, and they started with all the pujas and everything. So
Sthapana.
while explaining it to my mother, they said that, see, it has to be done very gently, so that the old deity will not get angry, and he will not do anything wrong. Now, he also said, the main priest said, that, see, you will see, as we remove it, there will be heavy rain, storms, and it'll shock you. So my mother was laughing, because she said that, see, it was a very clear day and not even a leaf was stirring. So she said, and she's not too much of a believer. She's not like me. I'm more of a,
Mm,
sort of a believer. So she said, in her mind, she was thinking, oh yeah, so this is going to happen. And
mm,
what happened was, they as they started chanting, and doing all the rituals, and as they started removing the old deity, suddenly, the sky started getting darker, you know and the leaves started stirring. And by the time they removed the deity, there was a huge storm and rain and everything. It was like, chaos had come. And then, after the deity was removed and placed in a small hut for that purpose. You cannot put it anywhere. You have to also give it enough importance. And then the new
right,
deity, yeah, was installed. And
right.
at that time, everything became slowly calm, and we were back to the same, a kind of day that it was before. So
Mm,
it was.
mm,
My mother was saying, you can't believe, and the place that they were in looked like, these old banyan trees, lots of roots and everything. It's like, very eerie when it started becoming stormy, and it started raining. So my mother said, first time, I started believing all this. It became so shocking for me. So I wanted to just
absolutely.
narrate that to you, Mayur. Yeah.
No, it's so amazing, because amazing in the sense, I know it's a very normal English word, amazing, but it is amazing in the sense that these things do happen, and there is a part of, whether it's science or it's paranormal. See, what I understood also, Veena, is there are energies playing a role. There are energies, different kinds of beings, energies. You mentioned Naga Devta, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
And I think in one of our earlier sessions or podcasts, I had mentioned something called Naga Katta or
Yeah.
Naga Devta, Naga Puja.
Yeah.
So these are entities that also are hovering around. So I would like to say that uh, certain havanas are done where, and I think I read a comment about Agni as well. And yes, Agni
Yeah.
plays, as I heard someone say, like a chief guest. Agni is the main catalyst. If I can use the word she,
Yeah.
Agni. So she is the Devi, and she is the very prime energy who helps, I think, to negotiate with the other energies. Okay,
Okay.
she almost becomes, I think, a communicator between the person who's performing the Homa and the energies that the Homa is intended to appease.
Yeah.
So one of the purposes of doing a Homa is sanctification or purification. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in your case, I think, Meena, what you were talking about was a Homa was done to sort of placate a particular
Yes.
deity and say that, okay, we'll be putting somebody else.
Yeah.
So don't please, sort of get upset or whatever. And again, it's about the Homa acting as a communication, madhyam.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the most simplistically powerful reasons of doing any havan, even at home, when we have when we have the housewarming puja,
Yeah.
what is it literally? It is
Mm.
to tell energies around that, please, we are here to purify this
Yeah.
place. So please, it's like a avahanam.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
an invocation to all the positive energies to please come and spiritualize the whole atmosphere. And also, it is said that, for example, somebody did write, and I was going to talk about cow dung,
Mm.
Meena, dry cow dung. When it is burnt, the what comes out when it is burnt, it's extremely strong, but it's very positive. It can literally kill even germs
Mm.
around. So that's why one of the reasons why a lot of people propagate Agnihotra to be done at home is that
Mm.
within a certain vicinity, it sanctifies, and it almost becomes like, a negativity killer.
Yeah.
So all negativity also goes away. If you
Yeah.
heard of Feng Shui, this is probably, I mean, with due respect to Feng Shui, this is probably a far more, sort of a solid spiritual way of uh, getting energies, activating energies, and creating a lot of purity around the house. Also,
Yes.
one more thing. I mean, there's so much, but this is where I can put a comma. Otherwise, it'll be a monologue. But Mira, this is also what I thought is, apart from like appeasing, like invoking, it's also about purifying and sanctifying the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Meena, when you go to any temple and to the side, if people are performing a homa, swaha, they do the ahuti, right? And it's every time they have this wooden spoon. There's a Sanskrit term for that, and they will, they'll be ready.
Orgy.
The people are performing, and they will, the purohits will chant, and the person who's performing could be a
Mm.
normal person, not a
Yeah.
purohit, and he
Yeah.
swaha he puts every time, and even if you're walking by, when you keep hearing that those intonations and of those mantras, you get drawn to it. I don't know if you felt it. You just feel like going and sitting there for some time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something I wanted to share.
Yeah. Also, Mayur, it's said that, see, when you do a homa, that the plants and the vegetables or whatever that are around you, the trees, they also become very energized, and it has a very positive influence on them. Like, even
Absolutely.
if an earthquake happens, these plants do not fall or become useless.
Yes, yes. Why only plants and trees, even humans? So what I
I think first,
understood is,
first it is for the humans, isn't it, Mayur?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the plants, of course. Now I was just trying to get a little into the
Yeah.
human beings.
Absolutely.
It is said that not only does it purify the environment around, the fumes, it seems, when you're doing the puja, and if you're in the vicinity, right, even if you're not performing, you're somewhere close by, when you inhale the fumes, what fumes are dua, I don't know what it's called, dhuvaru, dhuvar,
Yes.
in Konkani we say, we inhale that. It's said that it literally cleans your nose, literally. It also, we start tearing up, right, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
difficult, but it's supposed to be also enhancing eyesight, the vision.
Yeah.
And when you inhale it, it also positively affects your lungs.
Mm.
Also, when you inhale it through your nose, your eyes and your nose, these receptors, they touch your brain, right? I mean, it's connected to the brain. So your brain functioning also improves. That's just by inhaling. So it is said, and this was told to me by a bhattu, bhatmam, or in Konkani, it's a bhatmam as in Purohit. He
Mm.
said, come. I said, no, as a kid. He said, that's good. Sit. You will not get any spectacles when you grow up. But even at a mind level, it is said that it purifies the mind. Overall, the entire ambience that you're in is so sanctified. It's so blessed. even the stresses come down, right? Because you may have come from some kind of a stressful situation at office, and you're going to a temple. Now, if you just go to a temple and do pratana, it is okay, fine, good. But if you sit at the Havana and participate a little bit, it will have a superb impact on on you internally as well, and definitely it will have impact on plants, and I'm sure even on other beings.
Yeah. So how did this originate, Mayur? How did homas originate? Because we
Well,
hear of it right from the times of Ramayana, Mahabharata, Ashwamedha, see all
yeah,
that we've heard
Ashwamedha
of it.
Yajna.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't really there is no time, particular year in that, but as a granny would say, long, long time ago, but really a long time ago. And if I look at it from a very practical perspective, um, the Pancha Mahabhutas were already there, no? And one of them was Agni.
Yeah.
And Agni was very important, isn't it, Meena? Because
Yes.
Agni was that which would give you light.
Mm.
Agni was that which would help you to even eat. Because how
Yes.
can you eat raw meat? So you need the heat that emanates out of Agni. And I believe, Meena, that the rishis, the spiritualized beings, also understood that Agni is not just a physical flame. It's an entity, it's an energy. And they understood, Meena, the rishis understood the way to positively connect with this energy through their meditation.
Yeah.
That is how I believe they started communicating with this particular Devi, the Agni. In fact, there is one picture in a photograph in my Karla temple of the a picture of a Havana being performed, and a picture of a flame which literally looks like the form of a goddess.
Oh, okay.
It's there. Maybe next time I'll click
Uh-huh.
the picture. Literally,
Absolutely.
the
Yeah.
flame. Yes. And it's not the only one. There are some other pictures I've seen, but I have
Mm.
actually seen the flames, shaping up into a form which literally looks like uh, a Devi in motion.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
something like you show now.
Yeah.
Literally a flame like this, Meena. Can you believe
Mm.
it? A
Mm.
flame.
Mm. Mm.
Now, so when you ask me when, I think this must have been thousands of years ago, but I wouldn't put a year, I would only put a logic here from the time the spiritual scientists, who I call the sadhus, they understood that there are these beings, that they are also not just human beings, they have some consciousness, or they're part of a super consciousness. They understood the role of the Panchamahabhutas, especially Agni. They started connecting with it, and that's, I think, what led, it was their way of respecting Agni was there, and the way of doing that was by performing the Homa. In that, then slowly things got added on, like
Yeah.
the dry cow dung. There's something called Samvidha.
Yeah.
Samvidha is dry wood from
Mm.
Shamidha tree. So
Mm.
they're twigs. So that all happened through evolution, I think,
Mm.
Meena. But primarily, it was a way of telling Lord Goddess Agni,
Mm.
please be there with us.
Mm.
We respect you, because just as you can create and help us create light or
Yeah.
heat, you can also destroy.
Mm.
Because fire can also destroy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's my response to your question as to how it would have started off with
Yeah.
rishis really discovering and understanding uh, Agni as a goddess, as an energy force.
Yeah. But it's a very expensive process, isn't it, Mayur? Because, yeah, see, in today's day, see, when you do a homa, you need all
Yeah,
the right ingredients. You need a lot of the things have to be. See, everything is, you cannot play with any artificial stuff. You need all the right ingredients to make a homa possible. And then you
sure,
need the land to do it as well. So,
sure.
how do people manage to do it now? I mean, people living in
Well,
urban areas. Like there was a question from a
yeah.
lady who said
Hmm,
that see she'd like to do it. She's based abroad. I'm not able to see where she is, but she's asked, "How can I do it?"
hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I the answer is a little subjective, Meena. See,
yeah,
we have to be open to the fact that we are living in a concrete jungle. It is how easy would it be for us? In fact, it'll be difficult for us to perform a Havana or a Homa in our building, because people will start. There'll be, if it is in outside of India, there'll be fire alarms going left, right, crazy, right? Now, therefore, what would I say to this person is, we have to also, by the way, just can I just add something which will surprise the person who asked the question? Go to YouTube. Okay, Meena, can you hear my voice? Okay. Yeah. I can't hear your voice. Anyway, um, go to YouTube and search for Agnihotra Puja, Agnihotra Havana. You'll find a lot of people abroad with their videos performing Agnihotra. And therefore the answer is you can do it. If you all you need to find is the samagri, the ingredients. You can find a place in the open, maybe in the garden area. All right. Now getting the kunda, that is something which is a little more specific. You can probably ask somebody to bring it with you because it's just a metal container. You gone mute, is it? Meena, you gone mute.
Yeah. Yeah. So by kunta, you mean the pyramid?
No, the container is it's the sort of hexagonal shaped
Yeah.
container
Yeah.
in
Okay.
which you in which you put the cow dung and you
Mm,
drip you
mm.
pour the ghee and
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
I also think that expenses wise, it isn't that much if you
Mm,
look at it from the if it's a huge Havana. There's more quantity required.
mm.
Also, one more thing I'll tell you, Meena, is if it is done by puja, the purohits,
Yeah.
there is money, no, because you have to
Yeah.
pay for their services.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
Agnihotra you do yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't need to have a purohit.
Okay. Okay.
If you do a Rudra Homa or a
Mm,
Vishnu Homa or a Devi Homa or a Chandika
mm,
Homa or a Ganapateya Homa, okay.
mm,
Now it depends on the kind of the chantings that need to be done. Now, am I equipped to do a Chandika Home myself? No, I don't know, but I'll
mm,
have to employ the services of a expert in that.
mm.
That requires some money, Meena.
Yeah.
So, and one more small little thing. How often do we do these homas? Not
Yeah.
every day.
Once a
It
yeah,
has to
once in
be
a
done
blue
once in a
full
while.
moon. Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
do a Gana home, you don't do Gana home every day. You
Mm,
do it once in a while for purification.
yeah.
So in that sense, to the person who's asked the question, it really doesn't become that expensive if you really believe in it and if you know how to really do it occasionally, but with intensity.
Yeah. Yeah. Ned is saying for Homa, normally the fire is lit by churning the wood called arani. Any particular significance for this? You're not supposed to ignite the kund by using a match.
Yes, I think I what I've seen is that they don't use a match, but they will probably they'll light wooden stick with a flame, and then they will just light the whole agni by pouring the ghee and stuff. So they'll ignite it. Um, I'm not so the stick that typically is used, the wood is samvidha, is what is used. But to ignite, I've not seen anybody use whatever I've seen, not use a matchstick or something, right? They use another stick to just.
It's there in the
Have you
picture,
tried?
I think. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah.
they use, and it's like this, when you light an incense stick. Have you not done this? That instead of lighting another incense stick, we just let it the flame burn a little bit, and we light a few more incense
Yeah.
sticks
Absolutely.
that way, something like that. But Ned is right. We don't use matchsticks for that. It sort
Yeah.
of sort of brings back the whole perspective of spiritual aspect to it by putting a
Yeah.
matchstick. So
Yeah.
he's
In
absolutely right
fact,
on that.
Shilpa says that 11K for a Homa is what she says.
Well, I think Shilpa, it depends on what kind of homa you're doing, but it depends, right? If you're doing a Chandika home or if you're doing, so that's got its own price. I would, Meena, like before putting numbers to that,
Mm,
I just say put a logic to it that if you do a homa like Agnihotra, I've also seen a person performing a Gayatri Mantra homa,
mm,
okay, a small little,
mm,
kunda,
mm.
and then but it's very personal to him.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
would he would say Om Bhur Bhaswam Tatsavitarvaranyam Bhargo Devas Dhimai Yona Prachodayat Om Idam, and he'll something, and then he'll put the ghee. That is his personal homa. Now, how much would that cost? So
Yeah.
it depends.
Mm.
It's very
Martin
relative,
is
actually.
asking, yeah, can we learn to do Hokima by ourselves?
Can we learn to do?
Hokima. What's Hokima?
I Is it Homa? I think he's talking about Homa. He's probably
Yeah.
typed it wrong. I think
Okay.
it's Homa, or
So
maybe it's
here,
maybe a
yeah. So
Japanese
here,
Homa is
just
Hokima.
further to that, Mayur, that which means that you have to learn the chanting, you know,
Yes.
and do it the right way because words are so crucial.
Exactly. So that's what I was also going to add to what Meena you said is, see, Martin, Homa is a kind of a kind of an activity which could be understood as a literal, a physical ritual, but it could also be understood as something that very intensely spiritualizes us internally, literally inside, physiologically, and even the environment around us.
Okay.
Um, therefore, therefore, it is important to understand not only the kind of mantras, or more than mantras, the stotras that need to be chanted from certain texts, depending upon the kind of homa you do. Chanting it correctly. So, if you're doing a Rudra Homa, you should know a little bit of the Rudra as well. And also, I think that um, what kind of samagri is required, whether it is cow dung, dry cow dung. Sometimes they also use honey.
Yeah.
There are certain herbs that are used. So
Yeah.
that also needs to be understood, Martin, before one directly does. That is why, to Martin and to all of us, Meena, homas are not really done by people, normal people. They get it done by the purohits
Yeah.
because they
Exactly.
are the experts. They are the experts. They know what they're doing. And all, if we can sit there with them and we can really, sort of not chant exactly what they do, but we have to do swaha and we completely immerse ourselves in that.
Yeah.
I think that also has a superb impact on us. We don't
Yeah.
literally have to do it, but we can get it done by those purohits.
Yeah. What is the mantra you chant for Agnihotra?
Ned, I used to do Agnihotra. Um, there's one sentence which is, it is also got Surya in that. Ned, what I'll do is, if you're okay with it, I'll send you the mantra, because again, I'm not practicing it right now. I used to do it for a period of time because it was suggested by this uncle while I was going through something in my life. And you could imagine it actually affected me in a very positive way. Many years back, this was. But there is Agnihotraya Namaha and Suryaya Namaha, and there are these three sentences. But I will send that, and maybe in my next session I'll also chant it for you, Ned. But I'll definitely send the text.
I think we've used this in one of our ballets. Exactly what you said.
Really? Oh,
When somebody
really?
is doing, when they are doing Surya Namaskar, before
Yeah.
that they chant this.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Because the sunrise also plays an important role in
Yeah.
Agnihotra.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Are homas and yagnas the same
Yeah.
thing, respected sir?
Yes. Yes. I Interestingly, Meena, today I was at my temple at Durga Parameshwari. So I was standing, waiting in the queue to take tirth from my guru. And right beside me was the Purohit, and also a good friend of mine. And he was standing. I said, "Hey, you know what? I have a session with Meena." And so he knows, right? Everybody's technologically savvy. So I said, "It's on Yagna." So just one question. And this is exactly what I asked him, just to be sure. Because they are the persons, he was himself performing the Chandika home in the morning, and this happened in the afternoon. So I asked him, is Homa and Yagna the same? He said, yes, yes, both are the same. So, quote unquote, if he's watching,
Yeah.
he'll know.
Yeah.
Yajnas, komas are same. I think different names, but to the same activity.
Yeah.
Yagna Kunda,
Uh,
Homa.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, is it from this sort of yagna that Draupadi is born?
Well, I allow me. This is not
Okay, she's the
my
daughter of
forte.
Paya. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
She is, but because this could be there, but I'm more into the practical part.
Yeah. Yeah.
So must
Okay.
be. I don't.
Another question, Mayur. See, to drive away, suppose someone has been, sort of something wrong has been done because of black magic. Does
Yeah.
a homa actually, help you
Yes.
to?
Yes. That's a good point. I was, when I
Yeah.
was thinking in my mind about the session, one of the aspects that came into my mind was there are at least two or three where a Homa was performed. One was performed abroad with the intent of because they felt that there are some energies which are affecting the person's behavior, and therefore this Homa was done, and it was actually seen that after that the person's behavior improved, and
Yeah.
it was therefore inferred that something that was affecting
Yeah.
that person, the Homa, whatever that particular Homa was, it literally sort of killed that thing away, or drove that thing away, because
Yeah.
after that, for a long period of time, there was no problem.
Yeah.
Now there's a reason I'm saying there's a after a long period of time, because later on they had to do another Homa as well. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so but it does impact even negative energies, even paranormal energies. It does.
Yeah.
It
Could you
does.
tell us about some experiences that you've had while watching Homas?
Um, yeah, I'll do that. I'm remembering one of the experiences when I was myself, performing Homa with my wife, and this was long time back. It was an opportunity given to us at Karla itself some years ago, and you know, the repetitiveness. Sometimes you think repetitiveness is not good, but the way the Purohits were repeating, and this was a big Havana Kunda, and I think we were sitting. There were two couples, so we were sitting another couple, and the Purohits were there for some moments when this thing was they were reciting, they were repeating the particular chanting. I don't remember the chant, very in Sanskrit, okay, sort of complicated, and we had to do this. After some time, I almost felt like I was in some sort of a trance, uh, because now it may sound a little crazy, but because I was so, I couldn't close my eyes as well, unfortunately, because I had to see where I'm putting the ghee. But my mind, it was almost like I'm losing. Now, if I say Murko chakkar aa raha tha, it'll be scary. But it was like this. It was going like this, boom, 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 and they were doing swaha and swaha, and then I had to say something, nama idam swaha, and for some moments, I literally felt I was not in that temple. Okay, it only stopped when for a moment they took a break and the chanting stopped, and I literally found myself like I was there. Now, it sounds a little outlandish, but when I'm speaking, but there it was almost like I'm there, but in my mind, I'm somewhere else. It was like it was moving like this. Now, what it is, I don't know, but it was a beautiful experience. Another thing that happened was I was only watching, I wasn't participating in a yadnya or in a thing, and I love it. Though my eyes were watering, I could also see, the beautiful movement of the flames. Now, somebody could say that, come on, the flames are there with the movement of the breath, movement of the breeze. Sorry, it will. But where I was inside the temple. There wasn't any breeze as such. In fact, I was sweating profusely. It was in a village, but I was so. It's a personal experience. It was so beautiful to see. Sometimes one flame, then from there two flames would, get born, like that, and then they would move. And to all the viewers, even if you don't attach any supernormal, supernatural thing, just to watch the flames, the Agni movement will mesmerize you. Even as Meena, you're showing these pictures, and if the viewers are watching, look at the flames. And these are just static pictures, no, Meena.
Yeah, yeah,
Watch it when you're literally when the Havan is. Look at this flame.
yeah.
And imagine, Meena, you're sitting right in front.
Mm.
You look at the person sitting. If you can see, can you just move? Take it back.
Back to that. Yeah,
Yeah. Can you just? I mean, I'm just observing. Can you see that person in the sort of a purple kind of a lavender
yes,
kind of
yeah,
shirt with the jacket?
yeah,
He is looking with some kind of excitement at the
yeah,
flames. I mean, if
yeah,
I know it's a little far away, but I can
yeah,
relate to this guy. This dude is
yeah.
like, wow, what?
In fact,
See, yeah, yeah,
Mayur, see, when this sort of homa was being done in a Guruvayur temple in
huh,
Kerala, the image of Lord Krishna came, and people were shocked. I mean, him
wow,
holding the flute, it was
wow,
amazing. I mean,
yes.
those shots were shared all over. And now what you say makes it even more clear.
Absolutely. And Meena, when I'm saying that the flames, what I saw were moving, it was, I'm not joking. It was almost deliberate. They were
Mm,
dancing. They're performing. Now, it could be my way of relating or connecting, but I was amazed by that.
mm,
It touched me.
mm.
And isn't it true that Agni, when you perform Homa, the energy probably infuses in that Agni, that energy. And she starts, sort of reacting and responding to the
Yeah.
the mantras that are uska jo uchcharan hota hai, that being is excited. So she says,
Yeah.
okay, I'm also in ecstasy now. Let me also do the dance.
Yeah.
Okay, there is one more thing which I haven't experienced.
Yeah.
A yogi has, is it's there in the Aghori book as well. I bring that aspect out.
Yeah.
Is there's a particular kriya that where the flame rises, boom,
Mm,
up to the skies, all right, and then
mm,
it comes back and hits the forehead of
mm,
the protagonist Subbu. I'm talking
mm,
about the book Aghori and Untold Story.
mm, mm,
Now, this is not fiction; it happens. But that sadhu or
mm,
that saint or the monk, that
mm, mm,
realize to have that connect with that being. Okay,
mm,
he's communicating with that being that please activate his Agnya chakra,
mm,
and that Agni, the being, that energy in that Agni does her own thing and comes back, and that's the beauty of the Agni and the Havana. So to
mm.
answer your question, of course, these are the experiences which I seldom share, because many people will straight away say, give him some water, I think he's lost it. But here people understand that it's
Yeah.
not only that it has to be surreal and supernatural. You can just feel the motion of the flames and
Yeah.
connect with it.
Yeah. So Chitra is saying, Mayur,
Yeah.
probably you're mentioning is a Prayachitra Yagna. Our rituals say
Mhm.
Yagna can be done as Prayachita.
Yes, yes. The subject is so beautifully enormous. There's another perspective which says that you can do prayaschitta. You can so they say that when you're performing a yajna, it happens at two levels. One is the literal one. The other is a yajna happening inside. It is said that when you're offering your negativity. You're
Yeah.
offering the tendencies that you're not happy with. Maybe your vices, maybe your thoughts. You're doing the ahuti of that as well, and you're doing the prayashit of something that you've done which wasn't correct. You're putting it into the Havanite. It's getting burnt. The negative tendencies are getting burnt. So
Mm.
that is another way of looking at it as well. And see, there are different nomenclatures or names, Meena, to these. Now,
Yeah.
I didn't put this caveat before, but I probably have to say that I'm here as an experiencer, a wrong noun, but I'm just using it of what
Yeah.
I have experienced, right? And I'm not a lot into like Mahabharata and stuff which is great. I think what I'm into is what I like is to talk to people, listen, have my own past life, this life
Yeah. Yeah.
experiences, and bring it in front of you. But if see, I've learned something, Prashchitta Homa, which is really interesting. But I understood that there are these Havana which happen inside you. In fact, one person had told me that the yagna keeps happening inside you. The burning keeps happening inside you. The yagna never stops inside you. But when you do a yajna outside, it impacts you far more
Wow.
because you connect with the divine and you tell the divine, please, I'm sorry I did this. Please take it. Please burn it away and give me the blessing or bless me with a positive, energy or the positive way of thinking.
Yeah.
Isn't
So
it
Sujata
amazing,
is saying,
Meena?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Sujata is saying, how often do we perform a house energy cleaning Homa Mayurji?
Um, there is no hard and fast rule, Sujatha, that it has to be after 2 months or 3 months. Um, it, I would say this to you, Sujatha, that if you can, if you can do house cleansing through a Homa maybe once in 6 months, it's great. That's one way of looking at it. The other is whenever you feel over a period of time from your heart an intuition that you probably need to, like, Diwali time, we always do a cleaning.
Yeah.
Why? Is because you feel, oh, that's the festive time. You
Yeah.
need to make everything clean. So if you feel intuitively that, okay, I do think that, not things are not happening. All right. I'm not saying personally to you, Sujata, but we all go through this phase. Just feel like that's why we do pujas, no? Satyanarayan puja we do. Because we feel something, we need a booster. So
Yeah.
that time you can do it as well.
Yeah. Ned is saying Yagna is a big affair. The entire village takes part. They bring things required for the Yagna. So I think in
Absolutely.
villages, yeah, it happens
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. In fact, Ned, in our native place, when there are these yajnas and rituals, you should see the sort of spiritualized excitement
Mm,
which with which they participate, the villagers, and it's a lovely visual as well because they may not know a lot of things, right? They know one thing, that they have to come together and be part of it, and they see that as a as divinity. They can sit up to 2 o'clock in the morning. They're excited. Some of us may go and take a nap, but these villagers are, sometimes I feel we need to learn from them as well a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Chitra says, I did Chand Homa last year. As one of the gurus I approached said, there's Pittu dosha in my husband's family, and Chandi Homa will remove the dosha for the next 7 generations.
Right. So exactly. So Navachandi home, the different homas, right? And
Yeah,
they have their own objectives, or intents with which they're done. It's intense and with intent.
yeah,
Um, but I would say here, Meena, that even if you do a general uh, Agnihotra, or if you do a general Homa, okay, they say every puja can be done with a Homa as well,
yeah.
a small little Homa, right? And it is. And that itself is good enough. Now, there are, like this person who asked the question, if there's something specific.
Chitra, yeah.
Now, I'm not so much into how things can be purified, or, things for
Mm,
generations. That is something very deep. But I know for one thing that generally it sanctifies, purifies, it energizes, it spiritualizes.
mm, mm. Aparna says, next session you write 2 Agnihotri mantras for us so that we can do it ourselves.
Definitely. Why not? Next time I was thinking of even something like the mysteries of mantras.
Right.
It's so beautiful, the mantras and the
Absolutely.
mysteries
Yeah,
behind it.
yeah.
It goes across the world,
Mm. So
even Latin. Yeah, sorry.
Abha is also saying she's seen the Krishna video. That was in Guruvayur temple.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
I would.
amazing. Yeah.
Meena, if you can later on, please send it to me, because
Yes,
I haven't
absolutely.
seen it.
Yeah,
I would
I'll
love
do
to.
that.
It would be,
Yeah.
but do you realize, Meena? Okay, Madhvi is saying something like that. So pure and divine. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it
Yeah.
is. That's nice. Okay, which type of homa should be done for black magic?
Mm,
Let me come back to you on this, Aparna, because like I said, I'm more into the understanding of how it affects us all in a very positive way. Um, so something for the for something that has happened through black magic. Let me find out and come back, because one thing I do not do, Meena, is 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 just say for the heck of it. So
yeah,
if I
exactly.
just say some, but yes, if there is, I'm sure there is, because a couple of times it happened. I'll come back to you, Aparna. um, this is
Have you
also where,
seen
Meena.
have you seen
Yeah,
any incident like this
like what, like
where they did a homa for removing black magic effects?
uh okay, so two ways of answering. One is I haven't seen it, but it's happened, like I said, abroad. They've done it, so I can find out for sure.
Mm, mm,
In my house, Meena, in my house, um, I was told to put salt in different corners of the house. Um, I was given some tirtha
mm,
to sprinkle for a particular period of time. Um, so this is not to do with Homa, the session, but
mm.
it's not just the Homa that can deactivate or negate the black magic aspects, but it can also be these things which we spoke about earlier. But I will definitely come back to Aparna. I'm in connect with her, so I will definitely come back to her. I'll find out.
Yeah.
Definitely do that. Okay. Yeah.
Sujata says, okay, we'll do that. I felt that I need to do some energy cleansing in our house. Yes, Mayurji, we do Satyanarayana Puja. You hit the bullseye.
But Sujata, one more thing. With due respect to you and to all the viewers, depending upon somebody coming home and doing a homa or a puja is not enough. As a student of spirituality to a student of spirituality, what are you doing about it? The cleansing can be done even by us. And I'm not speaking from a technical perspective that you have some instrument and all. Every day, if see, I have been told to chant Shiva Kavacha, right? I think on a couple of occasions, been I sort of give you an idea, right? Om Shiva Kavacham Om Asya Shri Shiva Kavacha Stotra Mahamantrasya Brahma Rishihi Anushtup Chandah Shri Sada Shiva Rudro Devata Om Shreem Reem Kling Bijam Reem Shakti Ranki Lakam Shri Sada Shiva Rudro Devata goes like that for 21 minutes. So that also helps Meena in cleansing. I would call it the Sujata, and to all the viewers, this would be your internal Homa, because I feel it's you can do a Satyanarayana and that's great. You can do any other Homa, which is great, but your own Homa inside you by doing some chantings, like lighting a diya, right? And then sitting there and chanting something also very effective, Meena. I've seen that
Yeah,
because you firstly the fear goes away.
yeah,
And I was just thinking about this, Meena. I'm sorry, I'm just extending this a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
See, हर घर में दिया जलना ही चाहिए. In every house, the light, this has to be always there, always there. In fact, do you know that one of the rituals that happens uh, when a person passes away after the 13th day, from the day the body is cremated till the 13th day, a diya is kept, and
Yes,
the diya is
absolutely.
supposed to be lit all the time. You think it's for fun? No, there is a reason. There is a reason. Similarly, Meena, when the Agni becomes a sort of a medium for the energy to come in. So light a diya at home every day, keep it vibrant. When we do puja, the aarti is shown to everybody, right? And we do this. We do
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
right? What is that? We are taking the energy and putting it back into us. So I'm sharing all these things, Meena, because um, I think everything comes together and it sort of becomes a Havana. I think this session itself is a Havana.
Lord Shiva is watching from behind.
Yeah, it's a yajna. It's a
Yeah,
yajna as a lot of things are coming into this beautiful kunda. A lot of perspectives are coming to this kunda, and a flame of knowledge is ignited. How do you like that? Isn't it true?
yes, yes,
Isn't it true?
yeah, yeah,
You have Lord Shiva right behind you, Parvati there. So they are there, of course. Even a Vimarsh is a yajna.
yeah. Sensible Life says, Mayuji, can you explain Kalsap Yoga and how can one perform a Homa to safeguard themselves from the ill effects of it?
So, sensible life, can I say this now? Karl Sarpa uh, is itself a subject which is deep. Um, it's not yoga. It's called Karl Sarpa dosha.
Hmm.
It's a dosha. Karl Sarpa dosha. It has uska nivaran happens. It's happened in people I know close quarters. Okay. Now for this, it is not as simple as this. Karl Sarpa dosha means this yajna. Not as simple as that. What is this way forward is you have to, and I'm telling you from my experience, okay? It's not just, you have to contact your purohit.
Yeah,
There are these purohits who are experts into this. You have to tell them first. You have to confirm whether it is Kal Sarpa dosha or not, whether it is you, how long it has been, how long will it be. You have to give all these details, on which basis that purohit will tell you whether they need to do what kind of ritual needs to be done,
yeah.
and that ritual will require some sort of Homa. It's not the name of the Homa, it's the name of the ritual
Hmm.
in which the Homa will be performed.
Yeah,
Meena, I had done something, not me, my father had done something because we were told that we have a little bit of Nagadosha. Okay, our family has Nagadosha. Also, our family ancestors, some of them are not happy because they were not appeased with the yearly. We do na the every year we have to do the puja, right? Not getting the name. So not my grandfather, we were doing that, but some other in the family. So we had to do this nivarana. My parents and me, we went to this small little village outside somewhere till 2:30, 3 o'clock. They were doing avahana. The home was being done. So all that was happening. And then one of the purohits was saying, okay, is the name of your that particular ancestor starting from H? Okay, is it this? And he would say the name. I was like, wow, how? Then one of them saw actually an entity there. He says, I can see. Now we can't see because we are not tuned yet. He could see, and he said she's not happy. So then they would do some chantings to tell her, please leave. They will do this at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. And we had to stay there in that small little house. It's a different world, but it can't be like, oh, for this, that, for that, this. It doesn't happen. It is like when you go to a doctor, you may have a cold and 10 people others, but doctor will have to diagnose each one. So you have to go and have a conversation. It's like, going for astrology, right? You just can't say
Yeah,
tuck tuck tuck. The astrologer will understand you and then tell you what is required. Yeah.
yeah. Savitri is saying, my husband got cancer, went through surgery and treatment, and now recovering. Which Homa can we do?
Let me first say that I'm very, very happy that your husband is recovering. I'll pray for your hubby and, Har Har Mahadev, and pray that he will be absolutely back to normal, which is the most important yagna for me, is prayers. Uh, See, to the person who asked the question, what's her name, Meena? I just,
Savitri.
Savitri, listen, Homa is a very profound, deep, intense ritual, which is literal, physical, but also very spiritual. And you do good, any Homa, could be Gana Home, could be Satyanarayan Puja with a home in that. All these homas will create the dhua. Okay, when you do the homa, what comes out, it will have its effects.
Yeah.
There is, as a person, as a student, I'm saying, if you want something more as an expertise, then some purohit will tell you. But I know for sure that for sanctifying, for purifying, for energizing the environment, which will have an effect on the person, you can go for a Gana home, maybe you can go for a Satyanarayan Puja. They say Satyanarayan Katha. When you listen, that listening to a Satyanarayan Katha, the story has its own vibrations. As a kid, I was told, don't get up, sit here, listen, because it just get boring. Satyanarayan, one day it was, but as we got older, recently we did as well. Of course, when my father was alive, when you listen, you get so drawn to it, and that is the power of the content of that katha, Satyanarayan. So if you do even Satyanarayan or Ganhom or any puja, which is, maybe if you're a devotee of Shiva, you can do a Rudra Homa as well. And any Homa will activate those positive energies, which will have an effect, I'm sure, on your husband. And the best part is he's recovering, so I'm so happy to read that as well.
Sujata is saying, can you share some real life experiences of your life with spirituality which we can learn from Mayurji?
Okay, which I will in a session where we talk about my life and spirituality, if that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Aparna chant Narayana Kavacham, nothing can, okay, to protect yourself, nothing can come.
Absolutely.
Also
Um,
depends on which part of cancer it was.
okay. See, this is the interesting part. Yeah.
I think there is no Homa for black magic. Vasti Shastra says, if any house is under the influence of black magic, not to touch it as it may affect the person's giving remedies.
Yeah. True. Okay.
Okay, cancer.
Mm.
Many of us have family members suffering from diseases. Should we do any Homa for Lord Dhanvantri?
Well, I'm not aware of this, Karthik, for a particular Homa for a particular lord. Like I said, not just Homa. In fact, I'll go with what Ned has as well said. Like I would be told, like I said about Shiva Kavacha, there's something called Devi Kavach as well. And Ned, I think when you say Narayana Kavacham, I just want to elaborate that Kavach itself means protection, a guard. So when you do Narayana Kavacham, so the energy of Narayana acts as a protector for you. That's how I interpret that. So if it's a Shiva Kavach, then you feel the energy of the Shiva around you. So it depends upon who you are closest to. But I think that's how I would like to also respond to Karthik as well. That Homa, great, but apart from that, if you're really facing difficulties, then Kavacha and Mantra can also help us a lot.
Yes, Mayurji, I'm doing this through the lighting of homemade ghee lamp. I meditate, I make sure that I cleanse the energy levels, Mayurji. I have a guru as well who guides me, my mother herself, Sujata.
Well, you asked and you answered, so that's great. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
Meditation itself is a way.
Yeah,
to get you stronger. Yeah. So
yeah.
true.
Aarti is saying Homa is considered like stomach, which has a fire, needs to cool down food, is given to human, stomach like wise Ahuti given to fire. She's just doing an analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This is what I like about your session, Meena. Everybody gives their lovely perspectives and understandings about it. So yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Hema is saying, is there anything called Navagraha healing?
Um, I don't Navagraha Shanti. I think that's what she means. I've heard of
Yeah.
Navagraha Shanti. So there is. My answer to your question is there is the nine planets, and there are certain pujas or rituals done to appease the nine planets and the Navgraha, and it is used to bring peace and tranquility. And if a person is facing difficulties, it's called Shanti. So it'll cool you down. It'll calm the things down. Something like that.
Sudra is saying, purifications are done at three levels: action, verbal, and mental. Homa takes care of physical and verbal, japa and meditation at mind level.
Sure. Absolutely. Well said, Chitra.
Lovely
Well,
session.
since
Thank you for inviting me. Maybe I was, this lady has been doing this, Aarti. She has been doing Homa. So I was just inviting her whether she'd like to come and share. So she's saying, but maybe next time I appreciate your topics. Okay.
thank you. I think Meena, it's been really nice. Everybody's participating and even adding their thoughts.
Yeah.
And it's 9 o'clock.
I know. I'm just looking at the time. It's just gone off so fast.
I
Yeah.
told you when a yajna happens,
Mm.
time and space and causation they go for
Yeah.
a toss.
Yeah. Yeah. Karthik says they say for Kalsar Padosha, you have to go and do Homa at Kukke Subramanya or Sri Kalahasti. Can't be done at any Naga temple. Yes.
Absolutely,
In fact, Karthik, we did go to Kukke Subramanya, to
absolutely.
do this. Yeah.
Meena, by the way, to Karthik, you too. Kukke Subramanyam is my most amazing place that I've been to. And if you've been, when you enter, when you
Yes.
see the temple from
Yeah.
far, when you park
Yeah.
the car, the
Yes.
backdrop of those mountains, the hills,
Yeah. Yes.
it's you go back into time. I mean, all the
Yeah.
viewers, if
Yeah.
you're watching this, go to Kukke Subramanyam, and it's very powerful. And
Very powerful.
there's a story of this actual Naga there
Yeah. Yeah.
inside, and
Yeah.
this particular king's one of the
Yes.
kings or somebody who said, "I want to see this Naga who enters," and the priest tell him, "Don't, please."
Okay.
He goes, and then he comes out blind completely.
Yeah.
So, but
Beautiful.
and by the way, that region also has a lot of king cobras. By the way,
Yeah. Oh.
a lot
Oh.
of king cobras. Yeah,
Oh.
there are two places,
Amazing.
Agumbe.
Huh.
There's
Huh.
one is Augumbe forest, and the other is
Yeah.
Kuke Subramanyam area.
Okay.
And once I went with some people there, and we saw a
Mm.
crocodile also in the lake,
Oh
in the
my
in the
God.
river.
So
But
we'll
Kuke
just take
is
a few
sure,
more
sure.
comments, Mayur, and then
Okay.
we can end the session. Okay, Sujata says, in Nasik, there are Purohits who do this Kal Sarpa Homa and Puja. My brother and myself went to Nasik and conducted the puja, really effective in our lives. Mayur sir, one session is needed to talk about Nagadosha, Kal Sarpa Dosha itself, usually associated with the curse of serpents. But I feel there's more. Please talk about it next time. So Mayur
Definitely.
says, yeah.
Karthik, I love Sarpas. I love Nagas. There is Nagas are two, right? One is the
Yeah.
literal Naga, the other is the Naga Devta, the
Yeah.
entity, and
Yeah.
Naga Dosha, and also it'll be a solid topic, and I'm looking forward to all of you joining in and sharing your thoughts and educating me as well a little bit more.
Lopa is saying, once I was told to perform one havan for matrimonial purposes. I invited a few friends that day, and somehow Purohit got annoyed with me that you were not supposed to invite other people. What was that?
Maybe it was only meant for you, Lopa. And he's like, if others come in, maybe they'll also get. He's like, you need to pay me more now because others are also getting married.
Ned says, if all the planets are situated between Rahu and Ketu in your horoscope, it's called Kala Sarpa Yoga.
Okay,
That's just
so
information. Yeah,
so this becomes a good food for thought for the next session, huh? When we do something
absolutely.
like
Yeah, yeah.
thanks,
Everybody's
sensible life.
thanking you, Mayur. Yeah, sensible. Okay. So
Yeah,
any specific faith and devotion is critical. Yes, that's what Mayu
absolutely.
said right from the start.
I just heard today that my guru was saying that even if in a chanting, no, I mean the interpretation is if you chant even a shloka, but you chant from your heart, it has a lot
Mm.
of strength. But if you
Yeah.
just chant maybe one full page of text, but not really in it, like Om Shubhangroti Kalana Mayur, dinner is ready. Coming. Oh, tomorrow an
So
exam.
here,
Okay, sure. That doesn't work.
here, Mayu, let me ask you a question because you came to that. See, Mayu, when you do meditation, see if initially your mind flutters, and then see it takes you a good 20 minutes to actually get the effect of it, isn't it? Because
You
it's
already
slow
you,
progression.
okay. You already put the number with me. It's now tough for me to say no.
No, no, please speak about your experience.
Okay. I'll say this to you. I think it depends, Meena, on how you're feeling at that point of time. Let me explain. So today, when I was at the temple, my guru was sitting right in front. I think I have to say that today is one of the most important days of my life, and the reason is today, exactly today, 25 years back, my Swamiji, who was a sannyasi yogi, was ordained as our community's Madhadipati today itself. And that same day, I had taken a leave from my office just by seeing the photograph. I had gone to my native place, saying that I just want to go. My dad had already gone there. He was shocked. Where did you come from? I took a bus and went because I just had to see. And today is the day when I saw my Swamiji for the first time in my life, 25 years back. He was on the, he was going through the process of being Matadipati. He had to sit there, the whole process. If you've seen how, and I kept looking, I kept following. There were some places I couldn't go. I went inside. Jana, that's it. I have to go. I was standing next to my guru 25 years back, just seeing this entity. It's almost like we meet again. We meet again. That's what I felt. So, sorry, to come back to your question. So, when I was in the temple, that time when I closed my eyes, see, Meena, meditation, it's a big word, but within just a few, say, couple of minutes, 2, 3 minutes, because the guru is there, it becomes very intense. Are you understanding what I'm saying, Meena?
Yeah.
So, if I'm at home, it will take me maybe 15, 20 minutes. But if I am in front of the three or a four-dimensional being called my guru, right there, and then I close my eyes and I'm seeing all the images of my guru from the first time, maybe today especially. I'm in my meditation. I've forgotten everybody else. For me, that is my meditation. Or when I'm painting, and whenever I'm painting, if I paint, and I always love to paint my guru in that, there'll always be this uh, person. For me, that is my meditation. That's what my guru said. My guru was like pulling my leg. He said, "What painting, Baba? I don't know. But one thing I know that your japa is going good." My guru has got the best sense of humor. He and so amazing at appreciating things and helping us to know what things we need to improve rather than he saying. But coming to your point is, I think meditation is something that takes time when we are in the normal environment. Like if I were to sit in the morning, it will take time. You're right on that. But if we are closer to an entity, then it becomes faster. That's why my guru, I'm just speaking about my guru, even I'm sure your guru has said the same thing. If you visualize, it becomes faster because you're automatically
Yeah.
not getting distracted anywhere else. So
So we'll just take this one more point.
yeah.
Aarti says, I want to share an experience. Someone had a hole in the heart, known to us. He only did once a month Homa. It was a miracle. Even the doctor has no answer. At the end of 1 year, whole size became small. Amazing.
Wow, wow,
Amazing. Yeah.
absolutely.
So with that,
These things,
uh,
yeah, thanks. Yeah.
no, no, you
This
were
can go
saying
on,
something.
huh?
Yeah,
No, I was
no, you
just
were
saying,
saying something. Yeah.
I was saying this, that when somebody writes this, uh, for a person who is not inclined to spirituality, who hasn't understood, and I don't blame, I mean, I'm not being arrogant here. Maybe the person will, but for some of us, we understand that these things do happen.
Yeah.
Um, I just had to talk with a friend. She was telling me that she was in Mumbai for a father-in-law was on the deathbed, just before he passed away, his eyes were closed through the day. I mean, and it was any moment. He suddenly, Meena, looks. This is what she said, huh? And he just looks with bright. He looks that side like that for literally, she said around 5 to 10 seconds, and then closed his eyes. And after that, he passed away. And what is interesting is, for those moments, the light in the room became very bright. And these are things which are, for some people will be like, are you nuts? But no, these things do happen. Like the whole getting filled up, how things happen internally which we think are involuntary can also be voluntary. If you,
Yeah.
there's so much. There's Swami Rama, who was tested in the United States. If you heard of Swami Rama, who's written a lovely book called Walking with the Himalayan Master or something, I've read that as well. He could voluntarily do things with involuntary things like breath and stuff. So there's so much we don't know. What we think we know is just a percentage. So
Absolutely.
this is why I think such sessions really benefit me now. A lot of people who watch it here, because
Yes.
at least it creates a birth of a
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
At least it makes somebody ask,
Yeah.
what is it? And then the journey of exploration begins for all of
Yeah.
us.
Absolutely.
So can I recite a stotra
Please,
to conclude
please,
my
please.
session?
Yes, yes.
Mm. ॐ एकान्ते कृतसंविदग्निहवनेन आत्मावबोधप्रदम् ह्रीङ्काराक्षरवल्लभम् मृगधरम् हेमाद्रिबाणासनम् राकाचन्द्रसमानकान्तिवदनम् श्रीराजराजेश्वरम् शोकारण्यनवानकान्तिधवलम् श्रीसोमनाथम् भजे श्रीसोमनाथम् भजे ॐ I want to say one more. ॐ शिवशक्त्या युक्तो यदि भवति शक्तः प्रभवितुम् न चेदेवं देवो न खलु कुशलः स्पन्दितुमपि अतस्त्वामाराध्याम् हरिहरविरिञ्चादिभिरपि प्रणौतुं स्तोतुं वा कथमकृतपुण्यः प्रभवति ॐ सर्वं सदाशिवसहस्वममापराधम् मग्नं समुद्धर महत्यमुमापदब्धौ सर्वात्मना तव पदाम्बुजमेव दीनः स्वामिन्ननन्यः शरणं गतोऽस्मि स्वामिन्ननन्यः शरणं गतोऽस्मि गतं पापं गतं दुःखं गतं दारिद्र्यमेव च आगता सुख संपत्ति पुण्यांश्च तव दर्शनात् देवो दाता च भोक्ता च देवरूपमिदं जगत् देवो जयति सर्वत्र यो देवः सोऽहमेव हीम् ॐ नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
You know what, Mayur? Before you end, let me just give you and the viewers a small song which came in a movie recently. It is about Devi. So just give me a second. Let
Sure,
me
sure.
just give you that. Yes. One second. Hold on. Yeah. So you can talk as you.
Yes, yes. So this particular thing, viewers, the last one, Saravam Sada Shiva Sahas, it's a shloka which my guru always recites while performing Shiva Pujan, and for me, it is about my surrendering to the guru. And though I was only going to say one or two shlokas, this while I was reciting the previous one, I realized that today is the day where I can again say to my guru that. As a student, as a shishya of my guru, I'm surrendering my entire self at his feet. That is that
Yeah.
meaning of the shloka. Yeah.
Yeah. Mayur, see, I've just put a link to
Ah,
this song. See, this is about Annapurna. It's a very simple Malayalam movie. But when I heard this song, I mean, I got goosebumps because it's about Devi,
Okay,
and
okay.
the relation with Lord Shiva. So I would just suggest to all those people here and Mayur also, just hear this song because it will really give you goosebumps because of the meaning, and the intensity of that song. So because Mayur just sang so beautifully, I
Thank you.
mean, I just thought that this is also something that would also make you feel really good
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah. And Meena, one thing I'll say that having a guru in life is a blessing that I think I'll pray for all of us to have that the guru, because when you have the guru, then like it's different. Can't even explain. It's so what I'm talking about, right,
Yeah,
Meena?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The happiness you
Absolutely.
feel of having that entity with you is
Yeah.
is amazing. So pray for the guru.
Yes,
Thank you,
absolutely.
Meena, for a lovely session. And this time, no glitches, viewers, no glitches, no static images. I
See,
think,
they say, before you go to Shabrimala, earlier days, and when my father, when I was young and my father used to go, they used to have to go through a lot of obstacles, forests and mountains on
yeah,
feet before they reach. So it's always, see, it's a very tough path to reach to the ultimate.
yeah,
So I think you
yeah,
had to go through all
yeah.
that
It
technically.
was a Bapre. I'm a dinosaur. Somebody said to me that hey, can you upload your videos on the iCloud? I actually went out and looked at the clouds here. What
That's too
I
much.
No, I mean I'm exaggerating, but I get very tensed up. I
Yeah,
just can't. Like I said,
yeah.
please
You can't
do a favor.
understand. Yes, yes.
I said you create that Gmail account, please send it to me. I'll change the password. And she's like, come
Yeah.
on, yeah, Mayur, you don't know this. I said, I don't, Baba, I'm sorry, but I have to learn. But by the way, this is the book. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just plugging the book. So
Yes, yes,
guys, if you
absolutely.
can do, and I
Yeah,
think Karthik is on the seventh chapter. I read that
yeah.
message earlier,
Yeah, yeah.
and I keep multitasking. To all of you, Sujata, Pragya, Martin, Vani, Lopa, everybody who was here, I've become like a family now, Meena, and I feel very
Yes, it's
happy.
extended family.
I love when Ned adds his perspective. It's really nice, you know.
He comes only
So,
on
Haran,
certain shows, okay? So that's just consider it a privilege.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Would love to have
Thank
him more.
you.
And to everybody, thank you, Meena, for again having me. And Harar Mahadev,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
And thank you. Good night, Mayur. See you next week.
All right, bye.
Good night.